and I'm all on my own today. Right, as some of you may have remembered from a day or two ago, I said I was going to do a little video diary of just a standard week in the world of the... They're not coming for me, don't panic. And yeah, a week in the life of the Battle Hammer, as in what it's like for me personally to struggle through and my own personal battle with depression. Now I know that's not what you expect from a Battle Hammer video. You expect drunken swearing, all sorts of shenaniganeries. But, you know, I turned around and said, I think it was Saturday, I just put a tweet out saying I might just do this, and the amount of positive encouragement and support was actually overwhelming, to be brutally honest. Everyone's saying, yeah, do it, you know, it's good to have someone in the public eye, as it were, to speak about what they're going through. Now before I do all that, and I'm not going to edit any of this, okay? What you're going to get is what you're going to get. So every now and again, during a day, if I'm having a moment, I'll just grab the camera and I'll just tell you what it's like at that precise time for me. It's not meant as a "oh, woe is me" video or anything like that. I'm not after sympathy or shit like that. I just purely want to try and let people who don't suffer know what it's like. And I think that's another interesting part of it, because it's depression, and everyone who suffers from depression gets labelled with depression. Oh, you're just feeling a little under the weather, you're feeling a little sad. No, oh God, no, it's way more than that. And the hardest bit for me to deal with in my own messed up brain is the fact that the way it affects me is completely different to the way it affects everybody else. Everybody else's battle with depression or whatever it is they have, whatever mental illness they have to contend with it's personal to them, and you're never going to have two people with the same level, the same way they look at things with this, because you know, you might get through the end of this week, this little journey with me, and go, that's nothing to worry about. That's in your view, it's nothing to worry about. In my view, it's a fucking train wreck. It's really weird doing this as well, because as I said, I'm not going to edit it, so it's going to be very personal. And of course there's no one else about when I'm doing this, so I might say things that I might regret. I don't think so, because that's not the way the Battle Hammer works. If I've got something to say, I'm going to fucking say it. But I thought what I'd do is, before I go into the whole stuff that you're going to be probably running into, I thought I'd just give you a little bit of background, as in not my own personal life, because that's a train wreck, but as in why we started the Battle Hammer. So 4 or 5 years ago, I was working as a night loader in a parcel company. I'm not mentioning names, but they're not very nice people. And it was getting to a point where you would get so much work put on top of you, and you'd be expected to keep doing this work at this level, even though they keep piling more on it, more and more. And it got to a point where I just met up with Parker again after 7 years. So literally all of this happened in like the space of like a month. Met up with Parker again after about 7 years. He'd moved away and everything, we all lost contact. And in the same week this all happened, I just married Jane. Parker was back on the scene, and I had a mental breakdown. I'm not sure whether that's technically my fault or Parker and Jane. Take that how you want. But that's when it got to a point where I had the breakdown, and I had the whole doctor's thing and everything, and I was then diagnosed with depression and anxiety issues. And literally the next day, Parker had to go to the doctors and everything, and he got diagnosed with exactly the same issue. So we were sitting there one day going, oh, well, that's a bugger. What the hell do we do now? And it was just an off comment by the wife, just said, well, you do your games and stuff. Why don't you do something with that? And we sort of looked at each other and went, stupid idea, that'll never catch on. I think by that point I'd started to write a blog. And don't get me wrong, I was really enjoying the blog. I haven't done anything on it in months because the way my brain works, I just find it really difficult. But that's another story. And then we realised that we were taking photos and everything on the battlefields with this little camera that could actually do video. And I'm about as technically minded as a goldfish. I have no idea when it comes to technology. And Parker said, well, we could upload this to YouTube. I'm like, okay. So we sat there one day and we made our first ever video, which was 6 hours long, of me and him sitting there drinking and just talking crap. And it just felt really good in a bizarre way, because I've got to this point now where this week you've got SteamCon coming up at the end of the week and everyone's buzzing for it, and I'm like, I can't do it this year. I know my tickets are all sorted and everything and stuff like that, and we've got places to stay and everything, but I just can't do it. It's not a case of not wanting to, because Christ I do. But I remember last year I did we got there Friday and everything. Saturday I was there for a couple of hours. I felt so ill. I had to go back to the hotel, which was 1.5 miles away, and I basically just spent the whole Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening just crying on the phone to the wife. It was horrible. And I just don't think I can put her or me through that again this year. So I'm taking some time out from that. I'm taking time out from the whole tournament scene as well, because it's people. I'm having a rather big issue having to deal with people at the moment. It's really weird, and especially when you consider that I'm a role player and a gamer, and it's a very social hobby. So how the hell does that work? Anyway, there'll be lots of tangents of me going off on random chats about stuff, because that's the way it works in here. I can't sit and formulate it all. I can't sit and write it all down, because then if I do that, it's not me, as it were. You're just going to get, well, I did this and then I did that. I did A, B, C, D, and it all rolls in a nice line. That's not the way it works for me. I'm doing this, or I need to do that. I'll do that now. And it all gets really confusing. So as I said, that's when we started it, back in there. And since then, we went from a point of filming once a week and having a tit about and a laugh, to now where we're filming 3, possibly 4 times a week, 1,400 and something odd subscribers on the YouTube channel, which, trust me, thanks to all of you, I never thought that was going to happen. Followers on Twitter and followers on this and that and everything. And I just, even now, I still find that really difficult to, another one, really difficult and bizarre to believe, because in my mind, I'm not doing anything special or outlandish. It's just me and Parker playing games and having a beer occasionally. And that's kind of the way it just rolls for us. But for some obscure reason, you people out there have a tendency to enjoy what we do. And they say, I'm the mental one. So we're going to just carry on doing what we do. If we could get to a point where, we got enough work done and we got paid for it, that we wouldn't have that worry of having to go get proper jobs and having to do this. But again, it's something technically we both can't do. And again, that is another big issue with depression for me, especially. Those first 4 or 5 months of it, I was walking around like a zombie, purely not because of the medication, because none of the medication I've been on has helped. Jane will say that the one I'm on at the moment just keeps me meh, and I have no no ups or downs or anything. It's just meh. But I was walking around for those first few months in a zombie state because I didn't know what to think. You know, I have restless legs and they get really bad sometimes. You know, I go nights without sleeping because of the restlessness in the legs. And I've now sort of since been told that that's another reason that's going to stop me from doing a proper job again. And it gets to a point, and it did get to a point where I was thinking, oh, it's only there, it's only in my head. You know, why can't I go do a job? And then it was all part of that that really got my head screwed up, purely because you can't see it. If I had a broken leg, a broken arm, I could have accepted it. You know, it would have been, oh yeah, I can't do anything because of this. When it's this, it kind of gets just weird. It's the only way I can describe it at that. And I was, you know, once that all happened, I thought, okay, well now that's a benchmark. I can now try and work with that. Yeah. I mean, what we're now, we're at 2017 now. So it's been like 3 years of this. And then when I've had my therapy and all of this, you know, you look back at your childhood and you go, oh, you go through all of that. And although I still find it extremely difficult to have to talk to a doctor or a therapist or anything like that, I just really struggle with people. And recently my intolerance of people has just exploded. There's like wars with the neighbours because of their fucking thumping music, and I've had them threatening to come over and smash me just because I've asked them to turn the music down. Yeah, right, mate, you carry on like that. And it just, you know, you take all your pills that are meant to help and they don't, and then you get your counselling where you talk and it's meant to help, and then it gets to a point where, you know, you're doing like all the mindfulness stuff. Now this is another interesting thing because I'm doing the mindful courses, I've done a couple of things, I do them online and all of that, and I can see how they will work, and I completely understand the logic behind it. But for me, it just doesn't. Hello, you. It just doesn't really. Hello. It just doesn't really. It's like trying to make me change the way I've been thinking for the last 48 years. I can't do that. You know, nice silence about stop, give yourself time, think, and too many asteroids crashing. But I think, as Mr. Paul Sutton, bless you Paul, turned around and said the other day when I mentioned this, he turned around and said, everyone knows about how much drunken, loudmouth, blah blah blah. But inside there is a person in there as well, and none of you actually know what that person's like. There's a reason for that, because I don't actually know. I thought all of my years when I was growing up, when I was a kid, that all the whole quiet child thing was just me. And then as I got into my teens and all that, I thought the whole being miserable and snarky was just me. No, it's not. My depression stems back way back. It's just the whole catalyst of the pressure at work and all of that snapped. And you think that you carry on and that, you know, you think you'll get better or you'll know how to manage it. Some people do, don't get me wrong. You know, medication, therapy and all of that does work for some people. And for other people it just doesn't. Does that mean they're bad people? Does that mean they're freaks? No, of course it fucking doesn't. We're all individuals at the end of the day. And I find my train wreck got worse a few months ago, and I have been trying so hard not to dwell on this. But a few months ago, my mum died. Now that was hard, really hard, because she hadn't been feeling too well, but my mum's always been sprightly and, you know, tough. But then just after Christmas, she had to go to the doctor because she wasn't feeling too well. And the doctor started running all tests on her and everything and freaking her out. And it went through like 3 or 4 months of this, and it was all inconclusive. And, you know, she'd be around here every week, bringing me the cakes and having a little chat. It was amazing. It was wonderful. We were getting a really good, strong bond again, because I'd moved away for so long, and other family issues that I'm sure at some point will get mentioned in videos. We hadn't drifted apart, but we just didn't have much contact. Well, since I had the breakdown in 14, Mum's round all the time checking on me, which is lovely. Bless her. And then, as I said, she was going through all these tests and everything, and then all of a sudden, she gets told she's got between 3 to 6 months to live. And she came around and told me that, and I sort of sat there and looked at her. And she went away, and I was like, what? And then she declined so quick. She was gone within 2 weeks of. And I still remember one of the last things she said was, "I don't want to die and leave you." And I'm like, and she was apologising for the fact that she was going to die. It was pancreatic cancer. And even though we've done the funeral and all of that, and my stepdad Jeff, he still comes round once a week, where Mum would come round and bring us cakes and check on us and shit. And I still can't get to that point where I can accept she's gone. I look at it as Jeff's around, Mum's at home because she's feeling a bit under the weather. I know she's dead, I understand the fact she's dead, but mentally and emotionally, no, that hasn't happened yet. I haven't gone up and visited the grave yet, because I know when I do, that's going to be another third blip. I've had my first blip when I had the original breakdown. I've had my second when this has happened. So I'm on a blip down at the moment because of Mum going. It was weird because even though she never understood my gaming, ever, she did sit down and watch some of the earlier videos we were working on, and you could just see that look of pride in her face. She didn't understand any of it. Christ, I don't understand any of it. But it was... I haven't done much. I haven't done anything in life that's going to make a difference. I'm not one of those people. I like to be grey and in the background, out of the way. But just for that moment when I saw that look on her face, it was another thing that made me realise that what I'm doing does make a difference. It might not make a difference to people out there, but it makes a difference to me in here. So that's why I will be carrying on with the battle hammer. Even though there are times you wake up in the mornings and you're like, I can't do this, I just want to roll over. I'm not saying I want to die or anything like that, or self-harm or anything like that. It's just, it's all... But then I realise that you lot out there, if you don't get your fix of battle hammer, you'll be in tears and there'll be all sorts of fucking ramifications. Again, it's one of those things. But why am I doing this? I wanted to do a video diary when Mum went. More to the point I could say what I want to say to this camera. I don't see people there the way I just see a camera. So I can say how I felt when it came to Mum. And even though she's not here, she'd know. She'd know. I never got round to it. purely because I didn't know what to say. And even now, you know, I'm sort of sitting here, beautiful sunshine outside on this Monday morning, and I'm telling you stuff like this, and I'm thinking, if you've got to this point in the video, well done, because I don't think I could sit and watch this. Fortunately for me, I've got a very understanding and caring wife, and I could not do any of this without her help. Not just the financial side of it, but it's the emotional and the support side. The amount of times she looks at me in park and go, "Why aren't you two doing a film at the moment?" Slave driver, that woman, slave driver. But she's my rock. She's the one thing that, or millstone. No, she's the one thing. Her and her constant. You can do this. You're very good at this. I don't see that part of the very good. I see me as a loudmouth, irritating cunt, to be brutally honest. But why am I like that? That's a shield. That's just simply a defence. I can hide behind the brash exterior. That way you're not going to come and talk to me. Because people are just... You don't like them. Don't like them. And yet the minute someone turns around and says, "Can I come to the battle cave for a game?" Yeah, of course you can. I mean, these days it's got to the point where I don't go out. I don't go out drinking in pubs anymore because Thetford's a small place and there are only so many pubs you can go in these days. And I have my own personal reasons for not wanting to go in some of them. That's maybe another story for you at another time. But again, it's money. You're out spending stupid amounts of money. I don't earn anything. I don't get money. So why should I go out and waste money on beer when I've got a fridge upstairs that's full of cheap beer? I don't have to deal with people. The only way I can really describe... I'm going to wrap this up in a bit because I've got guests coming round to roleplay, to war game. No, what are we playing today? Guild Ball. Oh, Guild Ball on a Monday for a Friday filming, obviously. The only way sometimes I can describe this, put simply, is if you can imagine you're balancing on a pole about yay diameter. Right, so you've got enough for 1 foot. 2 if you kind of pigeon toe it. You're balancing on this pole. You can't see anything because it's just black everywhere. But it's cold and you can hear the wind whistling about. So you know, you put a tiny step wrong and you're off of that pole. And you have no idea how far it is to the ground because you can't see anything, it's all black. That's what it's like most mornings when I wake up. How do I get through? I don't. In my head, for most of the day, it's a fixed fear of just stepping off of that pole into the unknown. And I know there are people that are sitting there going, "Oh, don't be so silly." If you know someone who's got depression, don't ever fucking say that. Don't ever say, "Oh, it'll be all right, oh, just pull yourself together." Shit like that does not fucking help us, right? Try to understand that it's not... Yes, it's an illness, and I'm glad that it's now being spoken about more openly. If you want to read some great articles, go on to Katie's Gaming Corner. Some really great writing about board gaming and depression and stuff like that. It's awesome, so go check that out. But what would I be doing if I wasn't doing my gaming? I asked myself that when I was 14, when I got into gaming then. What would I be doing now? I'll tell you what I'd be doing now. I'd be working in some shitty job doing the same thing over and over again, day in, day out, waiting for death. Ooh. Yay! But now, I'm doing the same sort of thing, not the shitty job, still waiting for death because we know it's there. It's always there lurking. I'm not in a rush to meet the bastard. But I say a lot, don't I? Sorry about that. But I think now, because I do this, I don't just play my games anymore. There's this there, that camera thing, and all of a sudden you have to become an entertainer as well. And I know a lot of people do watch our videos and it's always a thumbs up and the nice comments. Love that. And occasionally you get a thumbs down. I understand that, because, you know, we are definitely not everyone's cup of tea. But if there's a thumbs down, if you haven't got the bollocks to leave a comment to back that up, why bother doing that? I don't see the point. I really don't. If I don't like something, I'll tell you I don't like something, and I'll tell you why I don't like something. I won't just go, meh, meh, yes you fucking not, meh. Crazy, crazy things. But that's depression for you, isn't it? It's you do see the world in a completely different light. And as I said, depression is different for every single person. It's one big catch-all word, depression. But there's a web under that word, and that web's little threads go to so many different problems. So many different problems. And now the government decided, oh, we've got to try and throw more money at it. Throwing money at it isn't going to help. It might alleviate some of the problem. Best way to alleviate the problem is make people work less hours in shitty jobs, give them a decent wage, and let them live a life. We're not just fucking automations. You know, We could solve all the world's problems by taking all these fucking rich billionaires and taking their money, because they don't fucking need it all, and distributing it out. But again, you will get rants like that out of me, because inwardly I rant a lot of the time, and inwardly I do so much fucking screaming when something is annoying me, but I can't find the words to just quickly deal with it. It'll just fester, and it'll just be festered into that pit, and then it's at some point. Hopefully you won't get to witness a meltdown explosion this week. Probably make great viewing. But that's by and by. So what's a little time check now? Christ, it's 9:15 on a beautiful Monday morning. We've got Paul Fells coming up to do some guild balling. So we're going to do that. I think Wednesday we're going to try to film something as well. Game-wise, that is, not this. This is just going to happen whenever. And then, as I said, Parker's off to SteamCon at the weekend. And yeah, I am gutted I'm going to miss it. I'm gutted that I can't go, because through Guild Ball we've made so many friends doing the tournaments and everything. But I'm just not in that happy place where I can go. I don't like even getting to leave the house, go on a train to Norwich to have drinks with the wife. It's not what I want to do. Anyway, enough of me maudling. I've got to go get the gaming room ready and start. Well, if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm looking at the control for that. So I'll come back to this. We'll do some film. We'll get the games filmed today, and then I'll tell you my thoughts and feelings on how I feel after that. Because yeah, I'm playing games. I love it. It's the interaction with people I'm finding trouble with. But that's the way it goes, isn't it? For me, anyway. So I know that completely went a bit off tangent at times, but again, that's the way it works in here for me. So if we're talking really good stuff about gaming, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, eggs! That's what's happening in here as well. So it's not just verbal diarrhea, it's can't process it all quickly enough. That's why I sometimes talk really quickly, because I need to get everything out. And when I can't work that quickly, I stutter. And then I get embarrassed. And then my legs start. And I'm embarrassed that people are sitting there watching my legs go. It's all weird, isn't it? Anyway, we will speak again soon. I'm not going to do the whole fucking like and subscribe bollocks. This is just going to be one program that I'm just going to stick it all together, throw it up. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. I have no idea where this little journey for the week is going to take us. No idea at all. If just by watching this inane amount of dribble, someone can find a little bit of solace or peace or help, then it was worth me baring my soul for someone to have a moment of peace. Just a shame that person isn't me. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Oi! Hello, here we go again. And today on the Crazy Couch, I'm joined by Frankie, who appears to be getting in the way. So, one moment. Franks, sit down. Yes, you can be a star as well. Sit down. Sit down. I'll get there, hold on. Sit down. There's your good gig. Park your arse. Park it. Don't make this very easy, are you? Sit down. Sit. Enough. Right. So, Tuesday now. And as you know, we did the little intro yesterday. You know, if it wasn't for this little crazy shit here, I would be a lot worse off. They say that dogs have got this knack of knowing things. Stop umming. She certainly has. She knows before I do, when I'm about to have a crying session or anything, because she will just come up and sit on me. And generally be a pain in the arse. Little bit like this. So obviously she knows something I don't, and I also know something she doesn't. I know, whilst I was at the dentist this morning, someone started chewing my bed. Didn't they? Yes, it was you. So, let's get back on track, shall we? Stop saying So, too many thoughts running around. So, yesterday I did the intro, and Ow! And we had the amazing, wonderful Mr. Paul Fells come up and join us for some games of Guild Ball. Very nice gentleman, great bloke. We had such a laugh. But, and here's the thing. As you know, I'm really struggling with going out and dealing with any of that outside worldness, and I'm probably going to have my wrist broken by the dog. But I'm still okay when people come here. That is only if I've got beer near me. Otherwise, I clam up, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to interact. But having a few beers kind of helps. But I don't want that to work like that, because that's going to turn me into an alcoholic, and that's a road I do not want to go down, purely because of family issues. So, and that you all sit there going, what was it? Yeah, my father was a complete alcoholic and beat my mum, and all of that quiet stuff that they all kept quiet in those days. And for a while, I was with a young lady, that would quite happily smack me about and put my head through kitchen cupboards. So I've had a pretty shit time, really, haven't I? When it comes to stuff like that. So I don't want to go down that route. And I think today I just want to have a little chat about intolerance, because that is something, especially for me, recently has been on a fucking big rise. So I had dentist this morning. I must be the only person that actually enjoys skipping and going to the dentist. The wife's like, you're not right. Could have told you that. But, you know, go there, everything's fine, off you go. So, but as I'm walking through town, it's head down, not making eye contact, don't want to see people. I don't want to interact with people, because I know the minute I start interacting with someone, they'll begin to fuck me off. It's not their fault. I could be, when I used to go shopping with the wife, I'd be wandering on with my trolley, la 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 la. Someone would like cut in and just nick my trolley and just hit it a bit and grab that, and I'd be like, okay, they're in a rush. They've got their own life to quickly rush around to, so that's fine. Jane now refuses to take me out, because nowadays when someone does that, I'm instantly and I'm growling, and I can't help it. It's not, I don't think it's an anger issue. It's more of a case of, I'm not the alpha male. I'm not anything like that. I want to be left alone. But that immediate interaction with people coming into my bubble, I don't want to know. I just fuck off. Get the fuck away from me. And I think that has just increased over the years. I remember distinctly not being able to go into a new pub that I didn't know. Not really wanting to go into a place or any place that I didn't know. I just found that instantly upsetting. Still do. As I said, it's got really bad now. I daren't tell Jane how bad it really is. She'd probably murder me. But here, in my little bubble of home and dog and everything, I'm safe. I know I'm safe. And I know I've got a mouth on me. And I know it comes over as brash bravado and all of that, and you know as well as I do it's my shield. But leak in the conservatory. But as I said, we had this eruption with the neighbours a few weeks back when they had some friends up from London or something, and it was just thumpy thump music. Couldn't hear the music, all you could hear was the bass, and it was coming straight through the walls. Instantly put me on edge. And I've been around there several times to tell them, look, come on, have a bit of consideration. You've moved in, you're renting the place. Just, no, I can speak English. No, I'm not being racist. If you're going to come live in the country, at least learn the language. Health and safety, if anything. So it was a Saturday morning, and fuck's sake, really? They forget this is England. We do things slightly differently. We don't blare music out like that. So I gave it a while, and it carried on. And then I saw two of them in the garden. So I just opened the door and said, "Excuse me, ladies, can you just turn the music down just a tad? Because it's coming straight through the wall. I can't actually hear my own TV." Completely ignored me. Okay, well, fine. So I came back in. Oh, by that point, seething. I could see James getting a bit worried, because when I seethe, I'm like... So it carried on. And it carried on. An hour later, by this point, I'm going up the fucking walls. So I've come out into the conservatory again, and there's a whole bunch of people in the garden this time. So I've opened the door and said, "Guys, come on, please. Can we just have a little bit of consideration? Just turn the bass down. I don't care about your music, just the bass." Well, all of a sudden, this guy has got up from nowhere and started screaming at me, telling me I'm a racist, and how he's going to get his policeman brother to sort me out and everything. And then another lad jumped. I said, "Oh, we'll take this outside now and I'll smack you in." I got called a racist because I wanted some music turned down. And I just looked at him and went, dude, I'm not racist. Even if you were English, I would be telling you to turn your fucking music down. And it's just that little spark where I instantly... But what they don't realise is every time when they go into the car, they'll get in the car, rev the guts out of the engine, and they go back in the house. What isn't you? Is your car? All their cars are like precision engineered pieces of machinery. Why do you need to do that? You don't. And again, I'm instantly on edge. I'll hear a thump from them next door, and I think, here we go. The music's about to start. It doesn't, because they've had letters from the council. Fucking learn you, wouldn't it? But every little thing like that, and I'm instantly on edge. That has got worse with my depression. There's no two ways about that. And I'd like to think I'm still with it enough to know when to hold that explosion in. A lot of the time I can let it go because, as I said, I'm safe bubble. But if I'm out and it pops, that could be a different story, couldn't it? I'd never resort to violence. I hope. Don't know. No, I don't think any of us really know where our limit is until you've been pushed, and then you go past that limit, which is what happened in the first breakdown. It was constant. Can't do this anymore. I threw my back out twice doing that job, and the management don't care. Great big warehouse, you know, a carousel belt where lorries come in, they put stuff on the belt, trundles around the warehouse, and each of the loaders gets their stuff off the belt. It's got a carousel for a reason. It goes round. So if you miss your parcel the first time, give it 7 minutes, it'll come back again. All good. Until the company I used to work for decide to break the carousel up so it goes onto the back of the lorry, comes out of the lorry, goes round the warehouse, and then stops. Well, we all know what's going to happen here, don't we? We all know the stuff's going to go round, people are going to miss it, their stuff, because they're so fucking busy trying to load 4 lorries at the same time and get their own stuff off. It gets to the end of the belt and falls off. Gets to the end of the belt, falls off. Gets to the end of the belt, falls off. Guess who's working on the end of the belt? Hello. I've got 4 lorries that I have to move over to load. I've got all this stuff coming around that people aren't getting because everyone's under pressure. And it gets to me and I'm expected to take it off the belt, put it into a cage, then wheel it over to the other side of the depot and put it back on the fucking belt again. And they deem that as okay. No. See, even just talking about that strain and stress they put me under, and I'm feeling that I need to be defensive, I need to hide away from everything. Which in itself is stupid because I'm not a social person. I never have been. I'm not one for parties and stuff like that. But if I'm in a gaming situation, that's... Sorry, I had flashing lights, I didn't know what was going on. Because I'm a gamer, you have a very tight-knit group of people that you play, work, socialise with. Beyond my group, I'm really uncomfortable. And that's why, in a way, I have to thank a lot of people. Mostly the Guild Ball community, funnily enough. Because when we started the Battle Hammer, one of the first games we got into was this new game called Guild Ball. Because me and Parker were starting to write the blog and stuff. We thought we need new games to kind of play and work with. And he said, well, Diceni's coming up to the local event in Norwich. He goes, we'll go there because there's this game called Guild Ball he wants to check out. Day out, I suppose, not happy about it, but it's in a place full of gamers. I'm safe-ish. Worrying, isn't it, when you can say you'd be safe with a bunch of nerds. Bless you all. And we got there and we spent a lot of time chatting to Matt Hart and Rich Loxham and Sherwin Matthews. And we thought, you know, this could be a nice little game to play. And you could already download everything online and print it all off and play, so we did. Awesome game. Awesome little game. I've played games for a long, long time. And this was the first game that made me want to go to a tournament and just play. See, that's how much it's changed for me just in the course of 3-4 years. Whereas the first year when we got into Guild Ball, we were going everywhere to play tournaments, which is not what we do, not what I do. But the people, Guild Ball people, oh, you're a funny lot, aren't you? You really are. There's two sorts of Guild Ball people. You've got those play to win. They are tournament players, they are good players. And most of them are nice people. But it's win, must win. And then there's the rest of us who are like lower table players. We turn up to have a beer and play a game and have a giggle. But at Guild Ball, even though it is like that, you still get the majority of the people on the high tables, the good players, will mingle with the low players. Everyone gets on. It's such a crazy community. But I have got a lot of love for them people. There are too many to mention. There really are. But it's the likes of Jay. You made a big difference to the way we look ourselves at doing tournaments and things. So thank you for that. And there are so many out there that all suffer. This is the thing that once I was diagnosed, I didn't realise how many of my friends, colleagues, people I work with, all suffer from some form of anxiety, depression, and it affects us all differently. That's what I said yesterday to you, is the fact that you can't label everyone with depression because there are so many different facets of it. And even though I think I'm now coming to terms with the fact that I have depression, I just always thought I was just a miserable fucker. And I liked that fact that I was just a miserable fucker. Has this changed me? Yes, I think it has. It's made me more aware of some of the things I do and say. You know, I now know why I won't go into a new bar. It's not because I'm terrified of what's in there or anything like that. It's purely because what's in here isn't quite clicking right. Would I want to change that bit though? So that's the thing. Because I've been this way for literally all my life, I wouldn't know. Understand that? Doesn't make any sense to you guys? You know, I don't know what. Yeah, excuse me, because sometimes it's just really difficult to actually try and explain how things are in this little messed up head of mine. And I think in a way that's why I want to do this. So maybe at some point I can sit back and watch this and hear the crap I'm coming out with and think, well, maybe if all I want from this is people just to take a minute to appreciate that everyone who has depression and anxieties and they go through their daily lives, they are fighting a battle every single day. And there are days when some people can't cope with it and it does get too much. So if you have got that quiet friend or someone thinks a little bit, doing things a little bit stranger, don't take the piss, just think maybe they're suffering. Listen. I think at the end of the day, that's all we really want, is someone to listen. But there's got to be the right person. You know, I've had two, I think I'm on my third therapist at the moment. And bless her, this new one is really, really good. Helps when they're a gamer. Awesome! The first one I had was like talking to your gran, you know, like a little old lady, and I just didn't know how to handle that. I think I did 5 months of that. And it got to a point where at the end she'd be bringing out crystals and waving them around me, and I'm like, whoa there, Nelly, whoa. That's just silly now. That's just silly. It's each their own, isn't it? Everyone has something they believe in. Would I feel happier if I had religion? No, because I know that's just a load of bollocks as well. I think that. Sorry. The hardest part is the frustration of not knowing how I'm meant to think, how I'm meant to act. Because I've been like this for so long. I don't know. I know right from wrong, yes. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I'm not designed for this 20th century living. It's just, it's too much. And yet here I am doing a video for YouTube. How does that even fucking comprehend? It's just... It is the frustration. And the loneliness, because you do feel so fucking lonely sometimes. So fucking lonely. And my wife Jane, she's an amazing person. She really is. You know, I can never explain to her how much she means to me and to what I do. As I said yesterday, I couldn't do any of this without her. And then the classic part of depression is you don't feel worthy enough of that person's love. You don't feel worth anything, to be brutally honest. As a guy called Pete Nifton, alright Pete, I think it's Nifton, I've always pronounced it that. Let me know if it's wrong, Pete. Old artist from Games Workshop, hugely talented bastard. He summed it up when he simply said, Monday, woke up, can't be arsed. Tuesday, woke up, can't be arsed. Wednesday, woke up, can't be arsed. Hate myself for that. Repeat, rinse, wash. That is it. It's very difficult to explain how much of a burden we feel. I know Jane would be better off without me. You should have an easier life. And when you commit to someone, it's warts and all, really, isn't it? And I'd never do anything stupid to you know, suicide or anything like that. That would never happen. I've got too many fucking game ideas running around in this fucking thing. It's just pricing the damn things out. I don't know what I'm saying now. I'm kind of went off on so many tangents. I'm kind of a bit in the air at the moment. I don't know. See, again, that's lack of sleep. Last night, my fucking legs went all night thrashing about. I think I got an hour's sleep in the end. So there's another reason Jane says, look, you can't work, you can't sleep. Yeah, a lot of it is just going through life on neutral, isn't it? Hey? But if you do suffer, get yourself a pet and a wife and a gaming channel, and surround yourself with friends that won't take the piss because you're not quite wired right. I think that's mainly my thought for the day. It's, as I said, it's Tuesday. I've been up, walked the wife to the station, come home, went to the dentist, come home very quickly. And now I've got the day to myself because there's no filming today because we don't on a Tuesday. And I've got so much I should do. I've got a whole heap of figures I need to paint, a whole heap of things I've got to do for games, etc. Do some writing, upload videos, check photos, do this, do this. And I know it may seem like I'm enjoying everything, but again, it's all a front, if I'm honest. I want to enjoy it. This is my life, my gaming. It's all I've had. But at the moment, I'm just going through on neutral. I want to feel that buzz again that I always feel when I'm gaming. I get that buzz when I'm GMing, but that's because I'm normally pissed. And if you've been watching any of our pirate videos, you know about that. I just feel so lost. And as I said, I know people will watch this video and they'll go, no, they'll be so pathetic, oh, woe is me. It's not, that's not the way it is. It's really not. It's just I'm going through on neutral. There's no feeling. I know there should be. Well, thank you, counsellor. It's been very good talking to you today. So, I mean, this might not be the only one you get today. There might be another thing or something, depending on how my mood goes today. Tomorrow, however, will be interesting because it's Wednesday. So I'm filming with Parky in the morning. And then I've got my next mindfulness seminar thing. So I'll, if you don't hear from me before Wednesday morning, I'll do it, the preview Wednesday morning. And then maybe we'll do a bit after the seminar to see if I'm feeling upbeat or mindful of everything. I'm not being pissy, it does work if you're broken up to a certain stage. If you're mildly broken, it'll work for you. It'll work really well for you. If you're more than mildly broken, there might be something in there you can use, you can take away and use in your normal lives. If you're fucked broken, I can't see how it works. I can see the principles, I understand the principles, I understand all of the workings of it, but it just doesn't work for me. But go check it out. Check out mindfulness. Anyway, I think I'm done for this morning. I'm going to go depress myself even more now by watching a bit of Jeremy Kyle and then Star Trek Discovery. Fucking awful. But why do I do that? It's because I just have not got the energy or the inclination or the drive at the moment to do anything, just fucking sit there. That's a happy fucking note to end it on, isn't it? Anyway, get out of here, I'll catch up with you in a bit. Hello, ahoy, and all of that. So, it's Wednesday afternoon. Today was pretty tough for me. I mean, I know I've still got to have my therapy counselling thing in a minute. She knows. She fucking knows. Game in the park at a day. And we both got a little bit sort of, you know, when he had to go, because I'm not going to see him now till after SteamCon. Am I jealous? Yeah, of course I'm fucking jealous. Why am I jealous? Because I can't do it. I just can't go. Maybe some of it's financial and stuff like that, but it's the pressure of it's alright. Of people. And yeah, I know they're all my friends, and there's no worry or no threat at all or anything like that. And I should just be able to go, yeah, no. And I think that's another big issue with the depression for me personally, is when I look back on possibly things that I wanted to do and I couldn't, and not realising at the time that it was because of my depression and my anxieties and all of that. So, for example, you know, the chances of me going and seeing some of my favourite bands are like so ridiculously small. I mean, I'll never get to see Fields of Nephilim, for example, live. Gary Newman, for crying out loud, played in Norwich a few weeks ago. And I couldn't do it. I tried to get better at doing that sort of thing. You know, I've even gone as far as to get me and Parker our tickets for Ailstorm. Ailstorm are playing in Norwich next year at the Waterfront. I know the Waterfront. I know exactly where it is. I know it's a small venue, and you know it should be great. And yeah, at the moment I'm like, yeah, it'd be awesome. Oh, fuck you, Milarenko. Oh, bomb man the cannons, and but the closer it comes, I know the more chance there'll be of me not being able to do it. Has that stopped me doing other things in get up. Oh, fuck it. You can put up with it, you have to. Has that stopped me from doing other things? You know, going and getting a proper job when I left school and all of that. I don't know anymore. But it is the frustration of knowing things that I should enjoy, that some of them have bypassed me through no fault of my own. Oh, see Fields of Nephilim live would have been awesome. See Gary Newman live would have been fucking amazing as well. But that is another point, is it always seems to me that the people who suffer from depression and anxiety and that are always the creative ones. It's a funny fact, that, isn't it? A lot of people that suffer from that are artists, creative people. Gary Newman has a big problem with Asperger's, I think. It's just so frustrating that all these things that I should love I just can't do. And I think for me, recently, what with the events of my mum and the fact that dogs are licking my jeans, that and the fact that, I mean, is it because I'm now older that I now think, well, you know, I'm never going to get to do those things? Do I regret that? Do I regret not having a family of my own? Fuck no. No, I never wanted kids. Never. I don't like the bloody things. That's no disrespect to kids or the good parents out there that do. It's just one of those things that's never really appealed to me. And that's annoying the hell out of me. 2 secs, this is the problem. It's little things that... Get up, sec. Get up. Just move your bum. Move your ass. Go on. Right, now you can get back up there. That's it. That's it. Say hello to your adoring fans, not my face. Say hello. See, Harold, Daddy's not well. I'm mending him. All right. Good girl. Stop it now. Retard. Quit it. She knows. She has been near me all day, and then the minute she just knows. All right, now that's enough. So yeah, it's because Parker's done some filming on his own as well for the channel, for some of the new little project he's putting together for Wild West Exodus. When he came around today, he goes, "I've got the memory card." And I said, "How'd it go?" He goes, "Don't like filming on my own. Doesn't feel right." And I completely understand that. Same as doing this. I look at it as I'm talking to friends, or trying to talk to friends. I don't know. I have no train of thought for this one because everything's really off centre for me at the minute because I know the Battlehammer should be at SteamCon. We should be there, fucking full orange flags, 2 of us, flying, you know. And yeah, I'm gonna miss the people. I'm gonna miss the new shinies, and I'm gonna miss the fact that everybody's been swapping the cards and everything. And you know, it should make no difference. It should make no difference at all. That's to me. I should be able to do things like that. So it's moments like this when it goes quiet and your counsellor sort of goes, "So what are you thinking about right now?" How do you expect me to answer that? I don't know. I know right now I'm feeling so lost. So fucking lost. And vulnerable. That's... I know a lot of people are so behind me on this project. Not just the Battlehammer, but this fucking very personal and in-depth thing. And Sorry. Sorry, it's just... it's difficult today. Very difficult today. Said I got my counselling thing soon, and then I think I've got a visit from a stepdad tomorrow morning, and then because I'm meant to be away and I'm not, Jane had already booked like the Friday and the Monday off. So me and her are just going to have some, you are just going to have like 4 days of like just real relaxing chill time. Which again, I'm looking forward to. But, I mean, on my mood swing's going to ruin Jane's time off. When you do your webinar thing, each time they give you a questionnaire to fill in on saying how you're feeling affected over the last 2 weeks, kind of thing. And I was sitting there today filling it in, and I'm like, you know, how badly is, you know, your enjoyment of stuff. And that's the thing, it's my enjoyment of my games. And you know, do you know, I have not picked up and read a novel in 3.5 years. My concentration is fucking shot. I can't pick up a book and read it. If I've got to read a rule book for a bloody game, I'm in trouble. Every new game we get, first thing I do goes to Parker. I said, right, just give this a quick read. Just so tired. Tired of feeling like this. And if there's no one sitting at the other end watching this and screaming at me, going, "Oh, pull yourself together," it's not. You can't. It's just not. So I don't know why I even filmed this one today, because I don't. There are things I want to say, but I don't know what I want to say. Does that make any sense? Probably not, because I don't think I'm making a fucking lot of sense. But I think this is why I wanted to do this, so you can see that sometimes, you know, the people out there that know me, that know Straw, you know, the loudmouth, the gobshite and all of that, you know, you see that and you think that's me, or no, it's not. It's not me all the time. I really do sometimes wish it was. It got to the point when I first had this breakdown and I was at the counsellors, and so what do you want? I just want to be normal. But then I sat there and I looked back on that and I'm like, well, how the fuck do I know what normal is? How do any of us know what normal is? If you're suffering from depression and anxieties and you're watching this in the vague hope that I will give you answers, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have no clue. I have no clue. I don't know how to help you. I don't know how to help myself. Yeah, I'm trying. I do try. And God, it's hard to take. It really is difficult. I say because I miss Parker. That's what I was saying. It's just a miss you, Parker. Hello, you. And this is what it can be like. It's just the utter hopelessness. You do feel like you are alone. You know, you go to the doctors, and they are very, very quick. Very, very quick. I'm not saying to dismiss the fact that you've got a mental illness or that you're suffering. It's just they've got so many patients they've got to see, and some of them are more important than you. Yeah, I mean, if someone's diagnosed with cancer, of course that's fucking more important. I don't know what I'm trying to say today. I don't know. I just want a little bit of enthusiasm back for what I do. Just be able to concentrate better on what I do. And not to sit there and regret missing the things that I've missed. Things like live bands and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like there's going to be fucking trouble or anything like that. I'm the first person to fucking scoot you away from trouble. It's a joy getting bullied at school and violent father. You have a tendency to duck and move quick. But it is a hollow feeling sometimes. Unfortunately, that sometimes is a lot these days. I want to try and find something uplifting and to finish this little bit on, but I don't think you're going to get it today, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll come back after the webinar and see if I've bucked up any more to try and give you some encouragement of people do listen. On my experience, close friends know how bad I can be, and it's the close friends that make the difference. And there are some that completely lose the plot and think everything is your fault, and no matter what you say to them to prove that it's not their fault, it's not your fault. I'm just so fucking tired all the time. I just hope that you realise when you see me in the Battlehammer videos, or you've met me, that you know there is a difference between Battlehammer and Stroll. I'm gonna call it there for the day, guys. It's a bit much for me today. Okay. As I said, I'll see if I can come back after the webinar and see if staring at a screen for 20 minutes, closing my eyes and trying to bring my thoughts in, sounds like meditation to me. Oh, mindfulness isn't meditation, really. I think you find a lot of that is, but it works for some people. That's just not for me. Sorry about the tears earlier, but I think I'm going to stop this now because there's probably going to be some fucking more, and I'm pretty sure you're probably going to find that really uncomfortable, a bit like I am. But for now, I'll call that, and I'll either see you later or we'll chat again tomorrow maybe. Okay. See you in a bit, guys. Thursday. And it's one of those days where there's nothing, I have no drive, no will. I just feel empty and lost. And confused because it's Thursday, and Thursdays were always days that my mum would come visit with cakes and just check up on me to make sure her little boy was alright. I never had the heart to actually tell her how bad it really was. And my stepdad now carries on that tradition. Every Thursday, he'll come round, heaven or high water, he'll come round with the cakes to make sure I'm okay. And I know he's doing it out of kindness, and he's doing it for his own peace of mind. It's not helping me though. You know, it's not helping me accept the fact that Mum's gone, or it's not helping me get that realisation that I'm never going to see her again. Anyway, that's grieving, isn't it? Grieving and depression. They're not the best of bedfellows. As I said, I don't know what to tell you today. You've seen some lows. I haven't seen many highs because I don't really. Or only the highs that I want you to see, and they're all fake. Although at the end of the day, it's simple gestures that make me realise how lucky I actually am that I had the breakdown and that I got diagnosed and that I could attempt to find that first step on the path of recovery. Battle Hammer was a big part of that. I wouldn't say I've even found the path yet to recovery, and I know that there is no quick fix. But saying that, it's when I receive goods, just like something simple like this, through the old door, you know, it's for me to review and everything, makes me realise that I am doing something right, because surely people wouldn't be sending me stuff to review if I wasn't good at it. Self-doubt and lack of self-belief, for me particularly, and I think even Parker would agree with the lack of self-belief, it's a huge thing that you try. It doesn't matter how hard you try to tell yourself you are good at something, you always need to be reinforced by other people telling you that. But my problem is that I find listening to people hard. Purely because a lot of the time, and please don't ever take this wrong, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, but a lot of the time I'm not listening because I don't care. It's not that you could be my wife, my best friend, talking to me, and I'm not listening because I don't care. That sounds really horrible, doesn't it? But it's not meant that way. I think it's just my way of saying I've got enough going on in here. I can't take on board what you're saying as well, because then it's just even more that's rutting around in here. So it's not that I don't care what you're saying. It's a case of I'm not listening, because it's something else that'll start ticking, and I really can't explain how that came out really wrong and horrible, so just forgive me for that. It's not I don't care. I do care, of course I fucking care, I'm human. But it makes me sound so horrible, doesn't it? And I'm not, I believe how horrible that makes me sound. But it's not a case of not caring. That's just the words that are there straight away. It's not like I can't be bothered with you or anything like that either. It's just, unless you're telling me something of like life and death importance, or it's something that's got my interest at that time, it'll just, I don't know, I suppose that does sound, that still sounds horrible, I'm sorry about that. But I don't think there's an easier way of trying to explain that. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to explain that kind of thought process. That's why actually I'm quite looking forward to next week's homework for the mindfulness course, because it's all about dealing with compassion for others. Now I'm going to find that very interesting because of my huge level of intolerance of people and everything else, come to think of it. So that should be interesting. I mean, yesterday, I know mindfulness is meant to set you on a path of your own journey to whatever, and I was always told, oh, you know, you with mindfulness you live for the moment. So it's what is. What happens, happens. But when you have to like spend 20, 25, 30 minutes looking at a screen where the person who's teaching you all of this has got their eyes closed and they're just meditating and they're helping you to meditate, I get frustrated because in my mind, mindfulness is not meant to be meditation. It's, I don't know what it's meant to be. I said it before that if you're not too badly fucked up in your head, mindfulness will work for you really well. And I can see how people get by with it, I really can. But I can't just go that stop thing they do as well. It's stop, take a breath, and then you sort of observe everything around you, pause, and you sort of carry on. I'm like, I can't do that. If I've got a dirty great spider crawling over my face, I should hold on, I should stop. Fuck off. I can't work like that. But I don't know whether the intolerance is just an intolerance though. There always has been for me when I was growing up. Background of straw as a kid, Christ almighty. I was the eldest, and then my sister came along when I was 4. Ruined everything, that did, little cow. And then my family always were just dysfunctional, is probably the best word I could use. And none of it was my mum's fault. You know, it was all my dad's fault. He was an alcoholic, he was abusive. But yet, when I split up at 11, when I was 11, I still made the point of trying to see my father. And the amount of times you can go back to someone and you know you're going to get disappointed. Every time I did that, you know, we'd have a few weeks where we'd be okay, and then he'd have a beer, and I'd have a beer, and then all my anger would flare up, and his just twattiness would hit back, and you split up again, and then constantly disappointed. And then when I married Jane, they stopped talking to me altogether. And then when my mum died at the wake, none of the family were coming and talking to me. No one cared. That's the way it felt. And yes, I was bullied as a kid. Horribly bullied as a kid. Did that affect me? Of course it fucking did. You know, being always scared of people is horrible. And I think that's why my intolerance is so bad these days. It's because the fear has just got to a point where I don't want to leave the house. I'm safe. I've said it before to you. Safe bubble. It's where I want to be. But the battle hammer is a social thing. And that's why I am so gutted I'm missing SteamCon. So gutted because, the whole, I've said it before, the whole community are fantastic people. There are so many of them. I love them to bits. Every one of them, they all know who they are. Jay Finnegan, you bastard. There's so many people. There's all the Northerners, Johnny Cannon, Nick Tye, all of that, all of the crowd. And the bizarre thing is when you do finally sit down and you are in a position to talk, you realise you're not the only one. Everyone suffers from something. It's just a case of if you can catch it enough to deal with it, I suppose. I mean, would my life have been different growing up instead of being on my own all the time? Maybe. But would I be as creative as I am now if it wasn't for that? When I left school, I think I got like CSE in English and physics. I couldn't go out and get a job straight away because I needed to help Mum because my granddad had Parkinson's disease. So I had to become a carer as well. And it's all things like that just chip away. They chip away. And they chip away. And eventually it just all goes out of control. Blows up. But as I said, if it wasn't for my gaming, my fantastic wife, and my fantastic friends, I probably wouldn't be here. And that's not saying that I would have gone out and topped myself or something, anything like that. But I just think I would have just wasted away. Just curled up and just not bothered with anything. That's the way it goes, I suppose. But again, it's just all of those feelings that your counsellors tell you to look at and to visualise and beat the mountain and view the mountain. And that's not you, Jason Mountain, it's the mountain, the bigger one. And I just think it's because I felt like there's a big lorry going past. Because I never had that path to follow as I was growing up. You forge your own path and everything. Yeah, fine. I was still lost in the woods when I was a kid. I don't know where the fucking path was. Still don't. I think every now and again when I get a glimpse of how good the battle hammer's doing or how good it's doing for me, every so often I think, oh, what's that little dot in the distance? And that might be the first step on the path. The trouble is I should have been doing something like the battle hammer years ago. But there wasn't none of this whole social media side of it. I don't know where today's chat is going. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to tell you today. And that's part of the problem of it, I think, is, yes, when I run games, I'm the GM, so I'm very descriptive, very eloquent. I manage to tell you everything you need to know and everything. But as a person, I'm the complete opposite. I don't want to talk. I don't want to tell you how I feel. That's all stuff that I want to lock away because of the fear of people getting too close and wanting to help. I know I should accept help, but I am a stubborn bastard as well. God, it's another maudlin load of shit for you to watch through, isn't it, eh? Christ almighty. And yet the dog is just laying here asleep on the sofa today, not hassling me. It's a funny old world. So Friday, said Parky does his little journey all on his own. Oh, it's like a little bird leaving the nest. Wish I was going with him, but I can't. And I know everyone would look after me and everything, I know that. But I just can't do it. Cannot do it. Fortunately, Jane's already got the Friday off and the Monday off, so we get to spend a few nice days together. Mrs. even turned around and said, you haven't got to pretend to be happy, you know. You can be miserable, you can sleep. As I say, guys, it's a very personal thing, is depression. No two people are ever the same. And I'm sure you'll get people that will sit on camera and do this sort of thing as well, and that they're completely different. As I said, I don't know why I'm doing this. But I still think I need to do this. I don't know why. And so you're probably sitting there getting to the end of the Thursday session going, what the fuck is he going on about? Where is this going? If you know, let me know. And don't put all those comments in the box saying, oh, well, if you thought like this and this, then everything would be better. Just don't be that person. Don't be that person. Anyhow, I've got to sort out a review. And probably just have a fucking lay down. I'm fucking shattered. Fuck's sake. So now I'm upset because I've got 20 minutes of me telling you nothing. And that upsets me. How does that even work? Get out of here. Go on. I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Any words of wisdom? Yeah. It is what it is. See you tomorrow.